Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Good. My name is Randy Samard, and I am the director of the Leadership Aurora program. Before we get started tonight, a couple of housekeeping items. We'd ask all of you to please put yourself on mute. That was good. That was a great way to start. Okay, everybody please put themselves on mute. And then if you want to get a better view in the view options up to the right, you can go ahead and click on speaker view so you'll see who the speaker, the individual speaking at the time is. They'll be highlighted, but that's up to you how you want to do that. Okay, so here we go. We are here tonight to honor the graduates of class of 2020. Thank you all for attending tonight's first and hopefully our last virtual graduation. And welcome to the family and friends of all of our graduates. For those that aren't aware, I'd like to share a little with you about the Leadership Aurora program. The program started in 1984 by the Aurora Chamber of Commerce with the goal of promoting and fostering community leadership and to meet our city's needs for the active participation of informed, skilled, engaged community leaders. Our mission is simple: educate and prepare community leaders who are committed to shaping Aurora's future. There are over 1,200 leaders that have graduated from this program. The 2020 class has certainly demonstrated their commitment to Aurora and to each other. They started their Leadership Aurora journey in September of 2019 with a 2-night retreat at Beaver Run Resort in Breckenridge. Following the retreat, the class participated in Community Day in October, City of Aurora Day in November, Media Day in December, Education Day in January, Healthcare Day in February. In March, with 3 sessions remaining, military, police, and fire, the Leadership Aurora program, like pretty much everything else, came to a screeching halt. Fortunately, we were able to meet in April for a virtual panel with our senior leaders at Buckley Air Force Base. We also celebrated the class at an outdoor gathering in September at the Botanic Gardens, and were able to have a half-day session with the Aurora Police Department. This determined class continued to stay connected and even completed their class project. You'll hear more about the project and their other extraordinary accomplishments a little later in the program. We are extremely fortunate to have some amazing sponsors for tonight's program that I would like to acknowledge at this time. Our corporate sponsors are Nelnet and Visit Aurora. Our company sponsors are Pickens Technical College, Fitzsimmons Credit Union, and Tanner Berkey HomeSmart. Our community sponsors are Aurora Public Schools, Community College of Aurora, Community College of Aurora Foundation, Citywide Banks, and Excel Energy. Our community contributor is David Barber, Remax Professionals, DTC. We also have a number of restaurant gift card donors that are listed on the slide, and I apologize, the slides are blurry and I'm not sure why. We're having some issues with that. Perhaps Bo can maybe get those back up there again. Let's give us a second to see if we can just run through those sponsors so you can see who they are. There we go. Let's go back a couple, Bo, just so we can see the others too. One more, one more, one more. Great. Okay. Next. 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 Okay. Thank you very much. Please, let's have a hand for our fantastic sponsors. You can hear me clapping and I can just watch you clap. That's great. To provide tonight's invocation, I'd like to have Jordan Clark, the 2020 class vice president, do the honors.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rini. It's an honor to be here with all of you tonight and really be able to provide tonight's invocation. So with that, let's go ahead and pray and just bless the evening ahead of us. Father God, we just come to you tonight and we thank you so much for the honor and privilege that it is just to gather together and celebrate this special occasion with each other. We thank you for the vision of the Leadership Aurora program to bring such a diverse community together to share insights, learn, develop everlasting friendships and bonds, and to steward compassion and love back to those in need. We are grateful for you for the strength and resiliency this class has shown during the past 2 years, navigating through one of the most challenging times any of us has ever had to face, and still being able to provide a positive and lasting impact to our local community. May you continue to grant us with your grace, your love, and strength as we continue to move forward. In your precious name we pray. Amen. Rini, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Jordan. It is now my pleasure to introduce our MC. Tom Banker is a member of the current class and a lieutenant colonel in the Colorado Air National Guard 140th Wing at Buckley Air Force Base. Tom, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Chief. That sounds so official, so formal. I appreciate it. And now that I see all the folks on here, I promise, Mandy, there's little ones in the audience. I'll keep it PG. If I don't, give me a cut sign. But no, hey, super excited to be asked to do the MC duties, even put on something civilian-ish, no uniform tonight. Karen, really appreciate you asking me to do this. You didn't really ask me, you threatened me. And so I didn't want to go against you. I know you're tougher than me by a lot. So, but looking forward to doing the MC duties for tonight. So again, before we get going on the formal session here, just a few short comments about how this is going to roll for the evening. And first and foremost, I mean, look at how we're having to do this tonight. This is absolutely crazy. Our new norm, a virtual world and a global pandemic. And it's been tough. And I can honestly think of just about nothing positive that has come from this global pandemic, maybe other than the uptick on the scale when I stand on it from the snacks in my pantry that are always talking to me. Daiquiri, was that cheesy? Little cheesy. I had to throw something in there. Oh God, Mandy's giving me the cut. Okay, all kidding aside, listen, this class virtually has conducted themselves. I'm going to borrow a term from my business. That's the military business. Nothing short than demonstrating a warrior spirit. You all have made crazy contributions to the community, to the fight against the virus. Even something to as simple as taking care of your families, your loved ones, yourselves. So I applaud you. We all applaud you. This event should serve as a wonderful recap to the best class ever. I'm going to keep hearing that navigated one of the hardest times ever. So before we kick this off for the evening, I want to drop a couple ROEs. Priscilla, listen, that's rules of engagement, military jargon. First and foremost, no pilot worth his weight in jet fuel would go through something like this without a charged glass. So please charge your glass with your favorite libation. As soon as we get to the end, there's going to be a wonderful toast. We can start toasting now and sip, sip. So please be ready for that and enjoy the evening. Second, this one is pretty important, especially for some of our more senior citizen class members like Chief Ed Hoschild. Ed, listen, this is a virtual world here, and frames can freeze. These things can go viral, so don't pick your nose, Chief Hoschild. Make sure that you're on your best behavior. Third, please enjoy yourselves. I cannot wait for you to see all the hard work that went into this. You guys are absolutely going to be floored, and I think you're really going to enjoy tonight's evening. Wish we could be doing it in person. We'll make this up somehow, I promise you. But until then, let's get going on this virtual evening together. So it is now my pleasure to introduce this year's class president and vice president, Karen Lovett and Jordan Clark. Karen is performing as senior director of operations at the University Colorado Hospital. Karen oversees respiratory therapy, clinical transitional research center, support services, parking valet, environmental services, linen, food and nutrition services, clinician dietitians, Metro Denver COVID specimen collection centers, and patient transport. She also works directly with facilities, clinical engineering, security, emergency management, design and construction of the overall operations of the 2.3 million square foot University Colorado Hospital. Mr. Jordan Clark is the Director of Outreach and Engagement with the Mizell Institute, a nonprofit, nonpartisan center dedicated to developing a more educated, conscious, and empowered community. The Institute is comprised of its two centers, the Counterterrorism Education Learning Lab, or CEL, and the Mizell Museum. Karen and Jordan, I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you for agreeing to speak. So, Leadership Aurora Class 2020, we've made it. It's really amazing to see how far we've come over the last year and a half. Jordan and I are of the class and this remarkable group of individuals that we have here today. We are so honored and humbled to be in this role to serve Aurora Class of 2020. It's truly incredible to see what this class has achieved and endured over the past year, which for all of us has ushered many changes in our lives. Thinking back to September of 2019, a group of over 40 of us came together from all different sectors of the community, and we arrived in Breckenridge, Colorado. And almost instantly, relationships and lasting connections were forged. From that day forward, we've been warriors, adapting and adjusting to our unusual circumstances. But if any class could handle it, it's this class. It is moving and inspiring to see what we've all accomplished together as a class and in our community. We undertook the large task of renovating the Village Exchange Center's basement, a center that serves Aurora's diverse communities, and provided the center with a space that will continue to provide lasting impact on the communities served and the younger generations. We are so impressed to see not only the incredible work we have accomplished over this past year, but as professionals and friends. This includes battling the COVID-19 pandemic, ensuring the mental health of our communities, providing lasting service that impacts our communities, students, and families, confronting racial inequality by taking steps forward to embrace and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, safeguarding our local community and our country, across me. And every one of you are remarkable and a blessing and an inspiration to us. Remember, Aurora is still thriving. Aurora is united. Aurora is diverse and a community of world changers that are global, that are having global impact. We are the class of 2020. Before I turn it over to Jordan Clark, Vice President, I'd like to first take a moment to just acknowledge Jordan for his ability to pick up during the pandemic where I had to step back. His endless and tireless work to continue to keep this class together and engaged through these unprecedented times was amazing. I truly appreciate everything that he's done and picked up the pieces when I couldn't. I'd be remiss to not mention and honor Jody Lawton, my amazing assistant. She has been the rock for us during this time. Without her and Jordan, I couldn't have done it. So thank you so much. And Jody, Jordan, you guys are amazing. So I will turn it over to Jordan.
Thank you so much, Karen. It is truly an honor just to serve with you and have you as our class president. And thank you so much for just all of your incredible leadership over these last couple of years. And really just to the class now, on behalf of Karen and myself, we would just like to echo to all of you, the best class ever. Again, we're going to keep hearing that throughout tonight, that you all are the standard of this community, of what it looks like to serve and lead every single day. And I look forward to seeing what all of us can continue to accomplish. May we continue to carry and steward that which has been given to us and pay it forward to the next class and even the future generations of leaders. This is truly a special community to be a part of, a community of world changers, as Karen put so eloquently, that when unleashed, it can be an unstoppable force for good. So ladies and gentlemen, what we would like to now do is just direct everyone's attention to the class video. And I'd really like to honor just some of our classmates here, Shauna King and Tanner Berkey, for their incredible work on this video. And we're gonna let our class, other classmate, Bo, cue this video up. So let's go ahead and enjoy the video, everyone. Thank you.
name is Kevin Hogan, and I'm the president and CEO.
I don't know that. I'll trust you to figure that out. You to figure that out.
That's an education thing.
Super informative. I learned a lot about social media and how to spot fake news.
You took long enough to graduate. I don't know. I really wonder about you. And, but good job sticking to it and pushing each other to do well. And I want to thank your volunteer efforts to help the Village Exchange Center. Cheers to graduating as the best class ever.
That is outstanding. So I've seen the video about 5 times now. Gilbert Gottfried at the end. That's too much. So now kind of on to the big to-do for the evening. It is my honor to introduce my fellow classmates. When we get going, I'm going to pause about 6 seconds on each slide so you can take a time to read each of our classmates' inspirational quotes there at the bottom of each slide. So without further ado, fellow classmates, here we go. Mandy Ashley. Look at that guy, Thomas Banker. Lori Banks. Alex Beardsley. Tanner Berkey. Samuel Bykin. Brendan Brown. Michael Bryant. Jennifer Buckley. Jordan Clark. Angelina Costin. Marianne Crawford. Zachary Davis.
Rockstar.
Edward Eddie Housechild. Alexandra Hoffman. Sarah Jitter. Rebecca Kelly. Shauna King. Casey Leba. Karen Lovett. Bo Martinez. Tina McConnell.
Rockstar 2.
Jennifer Mills. Cheryl Mylar. Diane Miles. Philip Pacheco. Quill Phillips. Jill Ryder.
Rockstar 3.
Hope I pronounced that right, Jill. Priscilla Sandoval. Alex Schultz. Susan Siegman. Joe Sims. Giovanni Big Muscles Taw. Heather Tinley. Yolanda Trevino. Meredith Velasquez. Matthew Wasserberger. All right, big round of applause for everybody, virtual land. Outstanding, that's a good looking bunch right there. Okay, so now it's my pleasure to hand it back over to a gentleman that's meant so much to us all, I believe, through this entire process, Chief Rini. will now formally confirm the graduates.
Thank you, Tom. So Leadership Aurora Class 2020. The resiliency and commitment you've exhibited during this extended Leadership Aurora journey has been extraordinary and inspiring. I am so very proud of all of you. It's now my honor to confirm each of you as graduates of the Leadership Aurora program. Congratulations, and I look forward to the day when we can get together again and celebrate. Back to you, Tom.
Awesome, Chief. Thank you. All right, now passing it back to Miss Jennifer Buckley, who will tell us a little bit about our Leadership Aurora class project with the Village Exchange Center. Jennifer, to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. It's so wonderful to see everyone's faces again. I would like to thank each of you for contributing to the class project. It was a challenging year for all of us, but we were able to work together and get this important project completed. I appreciate everyone who volunteered in person and those that were able to provide input and work remotely. You all were valuable throughout the process. Village Exchange Center is so thankful for our contribution and would like to be able to thank us in person once it's safe to do so. They have restarted their programming in the space, and you can tell they are really proud of the work we've done. Now I'd like to share a recap of what's been completed at Village Exchange Center, since we did so much throughout the course of all last year. So to start, we painted the walls and the ceiling. We created a coffee station by adding a credenza, coffee maker, and necessary supplies. We inventoried furniture at Family Tree, and that was donated and moved over to Village Exchange Center. We replaced baseboards, cleaned the carpet, stripped and buffed their hard flooring, replaced classroom and office doors and painted their steel doors, and then installed a new corkboard to hang the flag art project that I'm sure many of you remember. And in case you forgot what Village Exchange looked like before we started, here's some photos so you can have a nice reminder. And now for some after photos to show our class's hard work and dedication. And now I would like to share a video from Village Exchange Center thanking our class for the enhancements to their space.
Hello, Leadership Aurora. Marcel Naruki here from the Village Exchange Center. Just congratulating you on your graduation and thanking you for beautifying our downstairs. I remember when you came for the visit to kind of look over the downstairs, and it's really now a transformed, welcoming space. Thank you for that.
And lastly, I would like to thank our donors who contributed funds to help make this project possible. We were able to use these funds for various supplies and hire a professional to complete a few of the tasks. Thank you to our classmates that helped us receive these funds through their employers, community relations, or personal donations. And those donors were Wagner, Aurora Mental Health Center, Walmart, located off 5650 South Chambers Road, Aurora Police Department, Rebecca Kelly's personal donation, and Visit Aurora. And I just wanted to mention, if anyone has any interest in seeing Village Exchange Center in person to see the enhancements now that they're complete, you're more than welcome to do so, and I'd be happy to connect you with Village Exchange. So thank you all again, and now back to Tom.
Awesome, Jennifer. Thank you. And Quill, Eddie Housechild hopped in there. Without your driving spirit, without you being the rock behind this program, I doubt it would have gone as far as it did. So a massive thank you to you, ma'am. The entire project looks phenomenal. So, all right, my unique privilege here and honor to pass it back to the guy who can rock a vest and a tie better than anybody else. Jordan Clark, back to you, brother, to talk a little bit about the Leadership Aurora podcast initiative.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tom. Just again, so grateful to be a part of this effort, and really excited just to share with all of you some of the work that this program has been able to do through the Leadership Aurora podcast, really just with the desire and the heart to shed light on some of the remarkable leaders and just individuals across the Aurora community, all of which who are wonderful alumni of the program. So it's our hope that this podcast, which we've titled Impact Aurora, Inspiring Unity, Change, and Service, can really just continue to have a positive impact on the community and hopefully bring greater exposure to the Leadership Aurora program and the incredible work that the Chamber is doing as well. And so what this program does, the podcast does, is really just help showcase some of our different leaders. You can see some of these individuals on the screen here, just from all different sectors, from public and private sectors, to just share their experiences in the Leadership Aurora program, as well as just their insights to leadership, service back to the community, and what it really means to have that heart of service and that lasting impact. And so we hope that this program inspires just each and every one of us to strive for excellence every single day to make a positive impact on those around you. And we have some of you on this call here in this virtual graduation that we're going to be reaching out and hopefully scheduling some interviews pretty soon. And now I would love to turn it over to my classmate, Meredith Velasquez, who has also been wonderful in supporting this program, just to share some of her experiences as well. Meredith, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jordan. And thank you for just getting everything going with that podcast. The Leadership Aurora podcast has given me a really great opportunity to connect with current classmates and alumni to hear their inspiring stories directly from our community. I've found many inspiring moments and interviews that derived from their involvement with the Leadership Aurora program, and also heard stories of resiliency through the world we live in now. It's really helped me focus on the positive impact we've made on the community and brought to light the many achievements amongst our own members. I've been privileged to engage with others and help them share inspiring stories for the classes to come. Now I'll kick it back to Tom.
Absolutely outstanding to both of you. And Jordan, you're smiling, you're wondering what I'm going to say. But listen, again, just another prime example of resiliency, innovation in a time of a pandemic, which you guys have done and taken to the next level is phenomenal. I also heard you have one that's about to release that features 2 military guys from Buckley Air Force Base. Might be worth watching. I heard it was pretty good. Jordan, Meredith, thank you both. So now listen, Jordan, while you might be one of the best dressed guys here in the class, there's no debating that the best beard we probably know is Steve Sundberg. So it's my pleasure now to kick it back to him so we can hear from the chair of Leadership Aurora currently. Steve, go ahead, sir.
Hey, thank you, Tom. First and foremost, congratulations, Leadership Aurora Class of 2020 graduates. Your class will always be remembered for its extraordinary accomplishments and spirit during a very unusual time. It is my hope that you will continue the mission of Leadership Aurora by being actively engaged in positively shaping the future of our great city, Aurora. Your unique experiences together have created a bond that will forever connect you with each other, the community, and to Leadership Aurora. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of your Leadership Aurora experience. I also want to thank and extend gratitude to the Leadership Aurora Board. As you all know, it is made up of passionate Leadership Aurora graduates who work very hard to provide each class with unforgettable insights and experiences. This program could simply not happen without them. I'd like to recognize our outgoing board members for their service and commitment to Leadership Aurora. My predecessor, former LA Board Chair David Cigar Golf and Bourbon after selling homes, Barber, Remax Professionals, DTC, Tricia Brains Johnson, one of the best class presidents ever, vice president now of Westminster Campus, Front Range Community College. Mike, hard work and integrity Hannafin, who can't wait to get that camper to the mountains with Aurora Police Department, and Hannah Details Noe, and Alan, it's a Jeep thing golden, who have left the state. Thank you, everybody. Now back to you, Tom.
Outstanding, Steve. I think it's without going unsaid that you meant a lot to this class as well, sir. Your leadership and always being there for us. And thank you so much for those words. So now, hey, a kickback to Karen and Jordan for a presentation of gifts.
Thank you, Tom. Mitzi and Rini, on behalf of the class of 2020, we'd like to take a moment and pay special recognition and honor to the both of you. You all have faced the challenges of this past year, just like all of us, and you've carried the torch in keeping this class and program alive and thriving. On behalf of the entire class, we wanted to present you with a gift of appreciation for all that you've done for us, the class, the LA program, and the chamber. You both are truly inspiring, and we hope you're able to use this small token of our appreciation to have an enjoyable night out and time with your family. Thank you for all you do for us in the community. I would also like to recognize Colin Spencer. Colin has been a wonderful support to this class and has done an incredible work with Leadership Aurora podcast, helping to get it off the ground. Thank you so much, Colin, for all of your support. So thank you, Mitzi, Colin, and Rini from the Leadership Aurora class of 2020. Best class ever. Back to you, Tom.
Awesome, Prez. Thank you. I can't believe it. Look at that conclusion. My cue card says this is it. And we only busted our time by about 10 minutes. That's with a little late start too. So listen, my last time you have to hear me speak for this evening, and I get to do so in turning it back over to Chief Rini, along with the incoming Leadership Aurora Board Chair, Jennifer Evans, with Advantage Security. Chief, Jennifer, off to you guys.
Actually, Tom, thank you, Tom. And unfortunately, Jennifer couldn't be with us this evening, so our chair is going to fill in. But thank you, Tom. I was going to say you may have another calling after you hang that uniform up someday, but I'm not really sure that's true. So, but thank you, Tom, for a great job. We really appreciate it. Well, we come to the end of the virtual graduation. But before we adjourn to the celebration and social, I'd like you to all raise your glasses. And I've asked Steve to come back on. Steve, if you would, to provide a toast to our recent graduates.
All right, guys. Should we give everyone a very short minute to gather a beverage? Hopefully they have one in front of them. Step up to that refrigerator right quick if you can. While you're getting a beverage, we want to thank Ryan Evans of Brews Badass Belgian Beers for supplying these custom cans to us for class of 2020. Orange, creamy, juicy peppercorn Belgian style wit beer. Sounds delicious. Tanner's probably got himself a bottle of deep red wine, perhaps, not sure. But assuming that everyone now has a beverage in front of them, you think that's enough time, Rini?
I think it's good, Steve.
Radio personality Art Linkletter said, "Things turn out best for people who make the best out of the way things turn out." Through adversity, this class, you have found a way to stay connected, complete your class project, and are here today. Thanks for setting the bar so high for this tremendous program and for making us all proud. Congratulations, everyone. Cheers.